Diedreville, the trees stand tall, soft green fields and sparrows call. A schoolyard bright with children's cheer, no place for sorrow, doubt, or fear. The noon bell rings, they run away. Draven learns of a devil at bay. The girl whispers, low and sweet, gently walks with silent feet. Fingers scrape along the wall, a warning sung, a shadow tall. Draven, fearless, invokes again, the night will steal away your friends. Draven's caught and made to stand before Miss Darby, cold, unmanned. Stories rot the brightest minds, no more games, no wicked signs. Bright's room a party bright, laughter drowns the creeping night. But through the halls a hiss, a wheeze, a choking fog they start to seize. Casper runs, the door ajar, a crimson smile, a throat left scarred. Eyed at Darby slumped in place, a frozen fear upon her face. Draven, Mikey, they flee in vain. The walls all whisper Jeckley's name. The light is gone, the night turns red. She's here to claim the ones who fled. But Jeckley's curse is all for naught, for a devil one horn had brought the vengeance of another upon the town. But receive not credit, no renown. If you breathe, she'll hear the sound. If you run, she'll hunt you down. Still your step, don't make a peep or join the lost beneath the deep.
And after it all, you think you've earned redemption? Excuse me, if you don't mind, I have a couple questions. I'm looking for a couple people who I believe are here in Athra. Now, I'm sure you're familiar with the recent events in Rakis, with Belita's motley crew taking down old Jed Darby. Well, it appears I have received my answer. Thank you kindly for your time.
Oh, we're about to...
Ryder Grim. Ryder is a natural deadeye. With his practice as a ranger and as a crook, it's lent him a good amount of skill. Good enough for a chance to keep him around, and crazy enough to bring him to Darby's execution. But he is alive to show for it, so his skills may prove to be useful in the challenges up ahead.
What do you want, bird? And how do you know my name?
Well, it's my job to know. And this bird has been tasked with getting you and your posse over to the Athra Town Hall tomorrow morning.
Well, my posse booked a hotel on the other side of town. I can show them to you when they return tonight.
Well, that certainly simplifies the matter, which means we got a couple hours to kill, so I think I know just the spot.
Grady walks up to the poker table, pulls out a chair, and takes a seat. Deal me in. Ooh, these are stinkers. But I guess if the game rolls my way, it could be a winning hand, so I'll play. And those ones on the table are no better. But I guess if I get one specific card, I could still win. What the hell? I'll go all in. Grady pushes all his chips in, sets his cards down, and begins to fiddle with his hands, magically bending luck and fate to his will to make the top card of the deck the one he needs. The dealer reveals it. Woo! It is my lucky day! I will be taking that, thank you, and it's about time for me to get out of here.
Now just wait a minute here. This guy's scamming us. You're gonna sit down here for one hand, go all in, and then leave after one flippin' hand?
Grady stands up from his chair and begins shuffling a deck of his own. Woo, now hold on. No need to get so hasty. Nah, I just got a little lucky, that's all. Nah, I'm leaving, but it's nothing because of you. Just want to make a quick buck, and I got places to be, people to see. Now, I suggest you just calm down.
After Grady's suggestion, the gambler's eyes glaze over and completely forget the experience he just had with him.
Grady walks up to the bar, takes a seat, and beckons the bartender to bring him a drink.
You get a kick out of stealing from the riffraff?
Stealing? No, I wouldn't refer to that as stealing. You see, I'm just luckier than they are. And I think some people control their own luck. You can call it whatever you want, though, but hey, I'm the richer for it. I never caught your name.
Name's Angel.
Grady. Grady Howlands.
Grady's a dangerous one. A loose cannon with the power to walk with what it talks. He must have grown up around other gamblers because he knows every trick of the trade. But even so, he's got an honest ambition to him. Something that calls him to adventure. We'll see if that combo gets him into trouble, though.
And what brings you into Athra? I ain't seen many of your kind in these parts.
Well, me and my friend here are on a mission of sorts, you could say. It's my job to get him and his posse over to the town hall tomorrow morning.
Town hall? For the mayor's meeting?
That's right.
Ooh, what it would be like to be in that room with all those powerful men and women. So when do we go?
Well, we'll be up by sunrise to get there bright and early for tomorrow.
I'm sorry, a little presumptuous of me. But do you have an extra spot? I would love to see what goes on in a room like that.
It's quite a rare occurrence for the mayors to all be meeting up together, so I'm sure they'll take all the help they can get.
It's not every day that one of the men responsible for killing Jed Darby walks into the hometown bar, so I'll tag along with you guys anywhere.
Seems like you know your stuff.
I read the paper, and that man's face is all over it.
But I guess we'll see you tomorrow morning.
Sounds like a plan.
Some time passes, and Angel and Ryder get up from the bar and start heading their way towards the hotel.
Oh, man. So now time to find the other guys. Where could they be?
Is that? Yeah, that is. Ryder.
Oh, hey, it's you. Hey, man, where you been?
I mean, if I'm not with y'all, pretty fair assumption where I went.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. And I even see you've got friends.
If you mean the taller, trench-coated figure, yeah, I met him in the woods. This is Rowan.
Howdy.
Hey there.
Rowan steps forward and extends a hand to Ryder. Rowan Ulfur. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Rowan's an old soul, originally from the Voul, a monster hunter associated with the Order of Krev. He doesn't seem to be the trusting type, but his knowledge of other worlds may prove to be helpful in the journey ahead.
You're, Ryder Grimm, right?
Yeah, I'm Ryder. Ryder takes a look at the extended hand and does not take it, but instead gives him a fist bump.
Rowan looks in silent and subtle dismay at the accidental turkey that has just happened and puts his hand back into his pocket. So you two are the ones that took down Darby, you and your friends?
Yep.
So it seems. Mr. Heyu, gotta. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Heyu does not stop staring at the tall bird in front of him with a sense of, like, awe and wonder. How can they get this big?
Rowan clocks this lack of insight from Heyu and gently nudges him to stop staring with his elbow and steps forward himself. And who might you be, tall, dark, and feathery?
Name's Angel. Angel Eyes.
Well, it's a pleasure to meet you, Mr. Eyes.
Well, it's certainly good timing, I'd say. I'm actually here on work. I've got word from Mr. Kolka to get you and the rest of these Darby killers over to the town hall tomorrow morning for that mayor meeting.
There's a mayor meeting?
So it seems. And he wants you there.
Hey, you. Rowan looks over at him. Would you mind if I tagged along? It's been a long journey for me, and I was hoping I could stay in town a few days, and this sounds like it'd be interesting. He looks over at Angel. There's a glint in Rowan's eyes that he doesn't quite trust the man in front of him, and is worried that he may be trying to take advantage of this kid that he's grown rather fond of. That wouldn't be a problem now, would it?
I'm not gonna. I don't like meetings. I'll do you one better. You go in my place. All right. I don't want to deal with politicians and meetings and paperwork.
What? Who says you can get to skip the meetings?
I mean, shoot, you can also not go if you don't want to. I ain't gonna stop you.
I don't want to go to these meetings, but I've got the bird behind me.
Come on, boys. It'll be a learning experience.
Ryder eventually leads the party to the hotel, where our final two members are currently staying.
All right, kiddo, let's get you fixed up.
It's not gonna work.
Get ready, this is gonna sting. All right, there you go. Should be hopefully starting to get better now.
Chance and Ryan overhear some ruckus in the lobby, as well as some familiar voices, and decide to go check it out.
Whoa, hey, what's going on out here?
Chance Belita. Belita's one of the most prolific killers in the Hoff. He made his name working for Darby's crew, but ended up turning on him, eventually killing him in a duel. Now he's taken up an oath of redemption, a sort of life of pacifism that starkly contrasts to his earlier life. But I've got a feeling that dark path is gonna catch up to him one of these days.
Who the hell are you?
Well, you may not know who I am, but I sure as hell know who you are. And I have to say, it is a damn honor, my friend. It's my duty from Mayor Kolka to get you and your party here over to the Athra Town Hall tomorrow morning. I'm sure you're aware.
Yeah, I got it.
And who's your friend there?
Oh yeah, kiddo, you wanna introduce yourself?
Ryan.
Ryan who?
Mitz.
Well, it's a pleasure to meet you, Ryan Mitz. After suffering from a tragic accident, Ryan was left with nothing. But he luckily ran into Chance, who's been taking care of him. He doesn't speak too much, and you could tell he's internalizing a lot of pain. I certainly feel for the kid, because there was a point in time where I felt just like him. So hopefully one of these days he'll end up talking about it. He's not looking too well, You aware of that?
Well, yeah, that's actually what we were working on in there. He's looking to get better here in a little bit. That's what we're hoping, at least.
It's not gonna help.
Everyone has now met each other and know what the plan is going forward. As night falls over Athra, people start going to sleep, but Angel is afflicted with a dream. A message from his patron.
The gambler carries a fire within him. The spirit wild. Even I know.
Athra's a center of commerce of sorts, at least for the sunny side of the hearth. Full of life and movement. Some structures date back to the old empire, with the town hall as its crown jewel. The mayors of the Infersian city-states don't convene very often, usually requiring some sort of precedence. Even so, I'm unaware of any protocol that states for the hiring of a running gun, to ensure punctuality, if you may. Which reminds me, it seems you met the rest of these folk. I suppose it's time you should know who I am. I'm known as Old Angel Eyes, but people just call me Angel. Those are still alive, that is. You might hear some other names floating around. Funitario, the Devil's Iron, Grave Walker. I'd suggest keeping away from these folks who use these terms. They usually got their reason for knowing them names. I'm under contract by the state, with a license to kill any criminal that crosses my path. But my true allegiances lie beyond this mortal plane. I'm sure you'll pick up on them as we go along here.
The sun comes up for a new day, and the party wakes up and meet up at the front of the hotel and start making their way to the center of town.
Alright, who's gonna be getting any of these magic items from me? I got way too many things in my pockets right now, I gotta let some off.
Grady and the party walk closer to the table. So, what do you got, mister?
Well, it depends on what you're looking for. I got all kinds of things. I got this weird yo-yo thing, I got a couple of different springs and boards. I got this chicken.
Upon seeing this chicken, Ryder remembered he has not eaten breakfast and is in the mood for chicken and waffle. He can get the waffle somewhere else, but that chicken has caught his eye. Upon seeing this, the rational thing that he does is pull out his bolt-action rifle, loads around in the chamber, and fires straight at the bird.
That was a condition to summon in a world-ending dragon monster, my friend.
I'm hungry.
Anyway, is there anything that piques your eye here? Where are y'all off to?
Well, we're about to head out on a pretty grand adventure, I think.
Ooh, I love me a good adventure. And it looks like a lot of you already do. Well, if you're going on a long-spanning trip, I got a couple of great things for you. If it's about dimensional travel, I got this orb right here. Pete is going to move his hand across the orb, and you're going to see different landscapes. You see one that looks like a pink and purple forest with like this weird painted sky. He looks at it and says, this right here is the Feywild, home of, well, the Fey. And then he moves his hand again, and you see this dark, shadowy place with teal roots and these weird bluish-green leaves that are almost fluorescent in nature. And he looks at you and says, and this is our exact location from the Voul, the underground dimension. I can get this for you for a couple of gold.
Hey, and what about that mirror right there?
Oh, this thing? Well, first of all, it makes me look even prettier than I already do. But if you crash this, it does provide some dimensional travel. This takes you straight from your relative location here down to that shadowy, really perilous Underdark dimension, the Voul itself. But it doesn't seem like this should be something that really piques your fancy. A lot of things go down there.
You never know when we might need it. Could you do the orb in the mirror for 5 gold pieces?
Ooh. You know what? You seem like you got your head screwed on right. I can probably make that happen. Well, hey, whatever fantastic journey you go on, make sure you have your head on straight. Be sure you walk in a straight line, and hey, if you hear any shadowy figures, it's probably best to turn away. You don't know what type of people you can attract.
We'll keep that in mind. Ryder, you ready to head out of here?
Yeah. I still want chicken and waffle, though.
The group back away from Pete's table and begin walking their way towards the center of town again.
Ryder, you have got to be kidding me. You could have just put countless lives in danger. You heard the man. You can't just go around shooting whatever you want. Ryder, you have to learn that there are consequences to your actions.
You're telling me that there are consequences to my actions? Look at your actions! Thanks to your fuck-up, Bonnie's back with her parents. Unlike you, you orphan.
Does he always make orphan jokes like that?
Well, I mean, Ryder's Ryder, so you know.
I don't. Ryder!
Yeah, what's up, man?
Ryan steps towards Ryder Grimm and slugs him twice on the jaw, making him fall to the ground, standing over him. You make fun of someone's parents being dead again, and I'll make sure you're the next one 6 feet under. Ryan storms off angrily, stomping through the dust towards the town hall.
Ow, dude.
Hey, you okay there, kiddo?
Yeah, I guess I deserve that.
The time finally passes, and the newly formed group have made it to the steps of the town hall. Upon entering, they are guided to a large conference room with nameplates designated in seats, all for them and for the mayors. They sit and await for the mayors to arrive. The mayor of Umber, Athra, and Sleuven, and a couple more begin entering, all talking about different important matters, which some are able to overhear. There appear to be some form of tremors disrupting portions of the city from Vargas, one says to another. Finally, one enters that some of the party might be able to recognize. He introduces himself as Arthur Braun, but freezes during his introduction when he recognizes Ryder sitting at the table. He immediately lashes out and demands a reason for why this lunatic is sitting here, and Ryder responds emotionally asking the same question about Arthur. Because as it turns out, the mayor of Rakis, the sitting mayor of Rakis, also has a side business as a weapons dealer on the market side of town, and goes by the name of Gunn, the man who Ryder harassed throughout the latter half of Book 1. The other mayors are quick to cite Ryder's actions at the train station that brought down the wicked Jed Darby, and Arthur begrudgingly accepts. Not without Ryder continuing to add a couple snarky remarks within there. Gunn stands and puts his hands on the large conference table and addresses the room. There appears to be a growing threat to the lands around us. The crops between Rakis and Egon are being polluted by a Voulish substance, which immediately perks the party's ears with interest. As well, Egon has been burning down portions of forest in the same area as well. But let's hold back for a second and give a little context to this situation. It was mentioned in my previous video about the Infersian Civil War. Well, before there's a civil war, there was an empire, and before the empire, a republic. And the land of Hoth was green, with no division in biome, and rain cultivated the flora of the land to feed the fauna of the land. Along with the material societies, the Shatter Kai, Masters of Ice, settled in the Canyon of Krev, serving as their hold on the material plane, while the Elves of the Feywild found their way to the mountain range towards the north, naming it Egon. As these civilizations developed, Infersia began to rot with greed and manifest destiny, and eventually dragged these other civilizations into their own civil war. And with it, the land of Hoth became scorched and frozen alike, creating Sun Hoth to the west and Ice Hoth to the east. And while it may continue to snow in the east, the rejuvenating rain that cultivated this land has not happened in over a century. Which finally brings us back to now. Gunn has crafted a proposal to end the tension between these two societies, because while the Infersian Civil War may be over and the Empire crumbled, Egon and the Voul fell back into reclusive states, holding grudges against each other. And now these grudges threaten the material plane, and if not dealt with, could ruin the land of Hoth just as it did a century ago. Gunn walks over to Chance and hands him 2 letters, one for the Voul and one for Egon, inviting both parties back to this exact location in Athra, setting up a meeting to settle their differences in a neutral land. Along with the moral obligation, the mayor has also promised the party a healthy sum as a reward for their success, as well as all the resources they'll need for their journey to and from Egon and the Voul. And now, it's up to the group. Night falls upon Athra once again. It is now mere hours before their journey is to begin. But before the morning comes again, Chance enters a church of Sphinx. Upon entering this place, he sees this place is full of water, with separate ponds for what he can only assume are places for meditation. Soon enough, he finds one of the priestesses and approaches her.
I got a question. Do you mind?
Go ahead.
If there's something you've known, you've needed for so long, and you've waited and waited and waited for that thing to come, and all that time you told yourself, once this thing happens, I'm going to be okay. When the thing happens, what do you do when you don't feel okay?
The god we worship in this place is a goddess named Videezy. She's a lake goddess. She presides just under that fabled mountain, Mount Delis. And though there is grandeur and chaos surrounding her, she remains constant with the flow of the water that she provides. You may experience confusion on your journey. You may experience loss, anger, resentment, chaos, and yet in all of this, it is our job, and yours as well, to let it pass, like the waters in the babbling brook. Perhaps the question you should ask yourself is why you were so focused on that event happening in the first place. You seem like somebody focused on the past, and maybe now you're wondering what happens in the future. But I would wager, where people need you and where you need yourself the most right now is right here.
So, are you gonna go?
If they'll have me.
I'm sure they'd be delighted to have you. I don't think this one's for me though. I'm not gonna lie.
Wait, what? What did you say, Heyu?
Yeah, I don't think this one's for me.
What do you mean?
Doesn't really call for my abilities. I would say I don't know. I just don't. I'm not really feeling this one.
Then, what are you gonna do?
I mean, there's still a lot of this place I haven't seen. I could probably go do a little bit of exploring, climb a mountain or two.
Which mountain?
He was gonna look in a random direction and look at a mountain and point.
Huh.
Probably that one.
So, when do you think you're coming back?
Eventually. I'm not very good with dates.
Yeah, that is true.
I'm not gonna be going away forever. I'm sure we'll meet again at some point.
Surely. But I am gonna miss Therapy Dog, and
He'll keep me company, don't worry. If I'm back, Therapy Dog will be back, don't worry.
Time seems to cross by slowly when there's nothing to say, what to do, or even see. The arid, dry, sandy wind hides any noises the cart or horses make. A perfect white noise, easy to doze off to. This ride wasn't without its surprises. Con man hidden away into town, and massive sandworms crossed our path every now and again. But our ride was cut short when we approached a sun-bleached husk of a town. All sagging timbers and silence. Nothing left but the memory they provide. Chance, oddly enough, appeared starkly uncomfortable as we approached the old town.
The devil's gonna make me a free man. The devil's gonna set me free.
Some check out the worn-down buildings, and Ryan and Angel check out the old bar, only to discover the bartender in the back, slumped over, dead.
Diedreville was always a good patch. Good drinks and even better company. I didn't know I could grieve again. Hell, didn't think I had anyone else to lose. Well, here I am brooding that old familiar pity.
At least one of us has someone to live for.
Ryan and Angel exit the bar and approach the abandoned school, where the rest of the party has converged. Upon entering the old building, the true danger of Diedreville is revealed. The school becomes surrounded in an aura of vengeful, angry, dead souls. And appearing before everyone is a lichen, an amalgam of those slayed in this very building. Grady managed to get himself lodged within the floorboards, with Ryder and Rowan unable to free him. And Chance stands by the entrance, eyes glazed over, and full body frozen in fear like rigor mortis. The amalgam faces many and a screech like that of a train brake, or the sound of a knife dragging across the wall, attacks the party with the goal to kill. This is the Diedreville horror. Eventually Grady is able to break free, and the party disperses, landing whatever blow they can on the beast, but showing little to no difference in pain than the pain it seems to constantly be expressing. The beast shrieks, captivating the minds unlucky enough to hear it, freezing them in abject horror. Eventually Chance is able to break his trance, and comes to grips with the scene laid out before him. He turns towards the entrance, seeing the wall of souls, and doesn't hesitate, as he willingly steps through them.
Demon drawn, due dead. But what of a soul who won't set? Souls reaped and bodies a mound. Fear not, for you stand on holy ground.
What did I see when I walked into that storm of ghosts? Well, to be honest with you, Angel, it was one of the most frightening experiences I've ever had. It was cold. Deathly cold. Hearing voices everywhere, taste of blood in my mouth. I mean, can you imagine what it would feel like if every sin you had ever committed jumped out at you like 1,000 snakes all trying to tear you apart? And to be honest, I deserved it. But you know what? The craziest part is, I got the feeling those things were just about as scared as I was. I mean, they didn't deserve what happened to them. But, you know, I made my bed, and now I gotta sleep in it. All this shit happened because of me. Because I didn't have the balls to say no to the devil. You want to know what happened on that crisp winter night in Diedreville? You want to know what keeps me up at night? Oh, I'll tell you all right. I'll tell you everything. As usual, starts with old Jed Darby. Had some sort of problem with the folks in Diedreville. Whether they had some sort of secret that he wanted buried or just got on his nerves for whatever reason, he didn't like them. And it wasn't my job to ask questions. It was my job to take care of whoever Darby wanted. So, on that cold winter night, I rode out to Diedreville. Even got the chance to have a whiskey at the bar and chat with the barkeep. Nice guy. On that night, I went around the town hooking up all these horrible canisters that Jed gave me. And once the town was asleep, I set loose this poisonous gas across the whole town. You know, it took some of those kids hours to die. That stuff burns your throat. Feels like you got fire in your lungs. No matter what you do, you can't get it out. And the people who were able to cover their mouths in time and try to escape, I shot them dead. Jed didn't care that it was a school town. I bet some of those kids had mighty bright futures. But who knows? They're all gone now because of old Ace Belita.
Where do we go to dig the world's grave? Where do we go to dig the world's grave?
Ryder freezes at the end of Chance's words. He stares at the jacket he picked up, reading the words, putting two to two together, understanding what happened here this day. Instantly, the jacket drops to the floor. Ryder pulls out his rifle and points the barrel directly at Chance Belita's head. You son of a bitch. There is no Ace Belita. It's always been you, Chance. Doesn't matter if you change names, doesn't matter if you shave your beard, change your hair, whatever. You did this. You killed all of these kids. Why? Why shouldn't I shoot you down like the dirty devil you are? Give me one good reason.
Put the gun down, Ryder. This isn't going to end well for you.
Do it. Pull the trigger, Ryder Grimm. You'd be ridding the world of one more devil.
The gun visibly shakes in Ryder's hand. A mixture of hatred, anger, sadness fills his face as he tries to steady his aim at Chance Belita. He wants to pull the trigger. He wants to right all the wrongs happened here at Diedreville. He wants justice for all these innocent souls, and yet there's something that tugs his heart. Something that makes him not pull the trigger. Slowly, he lowers the rifle, kicks the dirt, and stomps away from the campfire.
How the devil's gonna make me a free man. The devil's gonna set me free.
Continuing on this trek to the canyon, it is starkly clear how barren the Sunhof truly is. But after a bit more traveling, a shimmer appears in the distance, and slowly gets larger and larger, until before them lies an abandoned, weathered factory. A metal complex, with seemingly nothing around it to have maintained itself all these years. The group decide to investigate, using numerous methods to break into the building. This place is old, ancient even, with some of the design calling back to the older days of the Empire, something similar they might have seen in the sewer system in Rakis. Upon further investigation, they find a book with a familiar author, Peter Shrew, who appears to have written a poem. I've seen the top of Delos, and the tunnels all within. I reached the top of that old rock, despite my life of sin. Before my trip to Delos, I went down to the crack of cold, spoke to the snake who changed my fate and reached into my soul. Along my trip to Delos, I went up another rock, took on a page of eternal flame to turn my mind in knots. About to climb up Delos, the hardest part of all, ripped out my sin that lay within, and let my body fall. I reached atop Delos, and looked back at the world, and what I saw was greater than the worthiest of pearls. The poem describes the summit of Mount Delos, the tallest mountain and the most spiritual place in the entirety of Infersia. Some things are starting to click and other things are not making sense at all. Peter Shrew is that cracked out weirdo with all the magic items, but then you start to wonder, how did he get all those magic items? And how does he know so much about the soul? Further and deeper into this laboratory, dodging debris and potential booby traps, they find what they believe to be some form of control room. Buttons, levers, and screens everywhere. While everyone is investigating this panel, Ryan goes into the other room, where something is being sealed away in a glass case. He opens the case to reveal a deck of cards. With little hesitation, Ryan takes the cards and places the glass case back where it was. But it seems the laboratory was prepared for this. A man nearly twice as tall as Ryan, with eyes of red and skin of steel, powers on, revealing his position in the darkness, and begins to attack the party. This creature is tough, with range and close-up attacks, and a resistance like no other. It takes the entire party's attention to start damaging this automaton, but it isn't until Ryder targets the record player in the corner of the room, tearing off one of its legs and interrupting the song, causing the robot to shut down. The party is once again safe, and they return to their cart, using the base of the lab as their campsite for the night. But just because they have survived this does not mean that they are out of danger, and their actions may hold larger consequences than what they currently know, and the secrets they hold against each other will soon be used against them.
gonna set me free. How the devil's gonna make me a free man. The devil's gonna set me free. Ain't got no place to go. Only chance to set me free. Ain't got no place to go. Come on, Lord, won't you save me now? Ain't got no place to go. Only chance to set me free. Ain't got no place to go.
Another day passes after the laboratory, as they have nearly approached their destination. But before they make it there, they run into someone familiar. Peter Shrew is right outside the beaten path and waves them down, warning them about the travel ahead, and offers to take their horse and carriage back to the city, since the canyon has no drivable paths down. The party obliges, and they continue on foot to the canyon.
Krev, a gulch in the desert, a crescent in the sand. Canyon that's hidden by the waste of the sun, and what lies below is what's sought after, and yet feared all the same. It's here our little group is truly tested. We have Ryan to thank for his previous experience, for getting us across that initial gap and getting down into the canyon. With some climbing gear and a little bit of grit, we made our way across, and that's when the canyon came to life, showing us images, perhaps of people past, perhaps all just an illusion. Damsels in distress, crooks and murderers surrounding us, all to test us as we lowered ourselves down into the canyon. And eventually we approached a large door, an ancient stone slab in the sides of this massive canyon, and inscribed on it said, "The fire is fueled by shared secrets."
Well, if we need to share secrets with each other, we already got a game that can do that. Grady shuffles his cards and deals them out. For the first time in a while, he has a losing hand. Ooh, well, I guess I'm up. You see, I never met my daddy. I lived with my mama for years, but every single dollar that we earned went to funding her gambling addiction, funny enough. She had this big dream one day she was gonna go to Rackus and she was gonna win it big, and I guess one day when I was still young, she went out on that dream. And she must have won big because I didn't see her again. That was years ago. I haven't seen her since. I had to make a life for myself in Rackus. I was so angry at her. So angry at her for leaving me, but deep down I know, I guess my secret is that I know I still want to make her proud.
As Rowan looks down at his losing hand and sees it's his turn to share, he looks into the fire in front of them with a melancholy look. I guess I have a confession to make as well. I took this job not just as a favor to your friend, Hey You, but also because I have a feeling it'll take me to what I want most. There's a old colleague of mine named Barry Blanco. Haven't seen him in a long time, which is good for him. He was supposed to protect my wife and daughter, but failed, and I've been looking for him ever since. We lived in the Voul, so when I heard that I had an opportunity to travel there again, I couldn't pass it up. But I guess, if I'm being honest, if we get there and I have to choose between fulfilling my duty to this job and this party or indulge in my vengeance, I honestly don't know which one I'll pick.
Well, it appears we're going nowhere without the truth, so I'll oblige. Gents, I'd be lying to you if I said I was here for some sort of heroics or riches. It certainly is true that the Mayor Council in Athra is rather desperate, so they're certainly willing to be generous with their offer. But on any other occasion, this is a fool's errand. Some last-ditch attempt to solve some metaphysical crisis. So to tell the truth, the real reason why I've stuck with y'all is because of our new friend, Grady. You have him to thank for keeping me around. And I hope that suffices.
What the hell, Angel? What do I mean to you? Grady shakes his hands and his head in disbelief.
To put it most simply, it's not just my will who's keeping a close eye on you.
What? What are you even talking about?
It seems the fire has found I've already told you my truth.
We weren't expecting anything to happen when we climbed up the Cocytus Mountains for the first time. Everything was going fine at the start, and then all of a sudden all we could see was rolling white. And then nothing. A few days in, there was a canyon we couldn't see under the snow, and my dad fell right through. He broke his leg at the bottom and it was too far down. Neither of us would have been able to get him up. We had to leave him there. And that was just my mom and I. So we kept going, and one night we had dug a burrow in the snow to keep ourselves from the cold as much as we could. And I woke up the next day. My mom didn't. And I knew they would want me to get back down. So I did. And I miss them. I miss them a lot.
They don't get up immediately. They allowed time for what was shared to breathe. Even though Chance was the one that found Ryan, this was the first time he was hearing what happened to him from Ryan's perspective, and embraces him, letting him know that it's okay.
Canyon proved to be a worthy adversary. Along with its illusions and tests of truth, a litany of slides, snares, and traps attempted to cut our party's journey short, but all they seemed to do was to keep our attention elsewhere, as we were plunged into a darkness. No, please, no.
They are sent into the depths of Grady's mind, revealing his worst nightmare. The scene laid out ahead of him is his own funeral, with rows of empty chairs, with not a soul appearing.
Where is everybody? Hello? Where are you? Is anybody here at all? Come on, this can't be it. There's gotta be someone. This can't be how I go. I'm not nothing to nobody.
That's not you. How is that you if you're right here? You're not dead yet. And when you are, I'm sure someone in the party will be there for you.
Maybe you're onto something. If I'm standing right here, then it might still be time to change my fate.
Rowan rubs his eyes as he stands up in the snow, looking around at the cold world around him. Oh my god. Where the hell are we? Angel, do you... Whoa. Angel, put down the gun.
Who are you? Can't you see? Soul that's waiting for us. The cold, bitter dominion of wrath. It comes for us all. The killer, the executioner alike.
Hey, look at me. I don't understand a single goddamn word that's coming out of your mouth right now, but you need to calm down.
We're in hell, Rowan! Hell! Look around! Get a stop, though. Get put an end to it. I know you can win. That means you can get killed. And no one's gonna stop me. Not even you.
Hey, it's alright. Do you mind if I tell you a story? There was this man walking down the road, and he trips and falls down into a deep, dark, cold, lonely hole. As he tries to pick himself up, he realizes he can't climb out. He looks up and he sees a doctor walking by. And he yells out, "Doctor, doctor, please, save me, help me." So the doctor writes a prescription, throws it down onto the hole, and keeps walking by. A little while later, the man sees a priest of Svedes walking by, and he yells out, "Father, please, help me, save me." So the priest writes down a prayer, throws it down in the hole, and keeps walking by. After a long time, the man sees a friend walk by, and he yells up, "Friend, please, help me, save me." And the friend throws himself down into the hole. The man looks at his friend and says, "You stupid son of a bitch, now we're both down here." And his friend looks at him calmly and says, "Yeah, but I've been down here before, and I know the way out. Angel, you're not alone in this. You have people around you who are gonna help pull you out of that deep, dark, lonely hole." And Rowan extends a hand.
And the packed weapon Angel's holding vanishes from his hand, and they are teleported out of the dream.
We walked out of that darkness and found ourselves at the bottom of the canyon. And appearing before us was a coatl. None of us dared speak. We simply approached it and waited for it to do something. It peered into us, as if it could see everything we have done, and perhaps everything we will do. It passed over Ryan, then Chance, then Rowan, then Ryder, then Grady, and then me. That lizard let us pass, and to this day, I don't understand why.
They begin warping and teleporting through dimensions, and in the distance, Ryan sees a vague reflection of two glass figures dancing, with first the woman shattering, and then the man, until the light blinds them all as they fall into a river in the middle of This is the original home of the Shatter Kai, known as the Voul. Unlike traveling through the Feywild, there is no magic item to ground your passage of time, which means every minute spent here is much more time missed in the material plane. So they do not want to stick around here for long. What they need to do is to get to the central castle of Tartarus, the home and ruling grounds of La Madre Maria. But they have no invite, and it's unlikely she'll be interested in listening to a ragtag group of Infersians. The sounds, smells, and shapes of this place is so unfamiliar to them that they are drawn to a familiar sight: a musician drawing a crowd for a performance.
The devil's gonna make me a free man. The devil's gonna set me free.
Up on stage is a very opulent fellow, playing a violin with his mage hand tickling some keys, wearing what seems to be a nice red velvet vaudeville attire with a nice opulent bow tie, slicked forward hair with a little bit of purple hair dye in there, and some round, glowing purple glasses. This man is very pale, with a goatee that can only be described as douchey. He is up playing the fiddle on stage, much to the enjoyment of the crowd.
And as the song comes to a close, the party begins to turn around to start looking for a place to stay for the night. But before they can go anywhere, Ryder gets hit in the back of the head with a tip jar. A floating tip jar, with an owl holding it.
Ow! What the? A tip jar? Tip for what? Okay, alright, mister. You can't talk to me like that. Put him up, let's go!
You see the man from up on stage run towards you, pushing through the crowd. "Oh, I'm so sorry, my good fellows. Hootsifer, enough of that. We don't treat our fans that way. Apologies for, my traveling companion. My name is Reginald Ezekiel Nathaniel Wolfgang Amadeus Richardson, but my fans call me Renoir.
What can I say about Renoir that he hasn't already said himself? He's a jack of all trades when it comes to music and performance, and a master craftsman of illusion. But this also makes him mighty dangerous, because you can never really tell when he's telling the truth. Whether they'll come to help or hurt us, only time will tell.
Apologies for that. I think he was just trying to get a little bit of gratuity for the performance.
Okay, first of all, pal, I'm not your fan. And secondly, I don't tip the working class, okay? And third of all, that is one strange name.
Well, if such a strange name, I suppose, but it gets people's attention. I'm sure your name could also be misconstrued as strange, dear friend.
Oh, my name is strange? No. My name is in the newspapers, okay? Do you even know who I am? My name is Ryder. Ryder Grimm.
Huh. That is odd. Oh, wait. Why does that sound familiar? Why does that sound familiar? Oh, I know. Not the Ryder part. Never heard of you a day in my life. But I do know a fellow named Grimm down here. Huh. Small world. Well, I'll be seeing you, chums.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Mr. Performer. Hold on a second. Did you say Grimm sounds familiar?
I mean, we are in a very grim place down here in the Voul, if I do say so myself. But yes, the person who is sponsoring me down here, giving this starving artist a place to live for the time being while I'm on tour, his last name is Grimm.
Take me to him.
I'm going to need a little bit more than that. Sir, I'm sure he values his privacy.
Okay, listen. We're here on some business, okay? And that's the person we're looking for.
Really? Well, how about this? We'll make a deal. I will take you to him in exchange that you tell me the tale of how you came to be down here in the Voul, because I'll be honest, you do not look like you belong down here.
Fine, deal.
All right. The man named Renoir puts his arm around your shoulder and says, "Come on now, fellows, tell me the gallant tale of why you're in this hellhole." The door to the apartment slams open loudly as Renoir enters in with the rest of the party in tow. Well, that is quite the tale you do spin, my new friends. But you're not here to tell more of that. Time for me to honor my end of the deal. Hello? Chuck, are you here, old sport? Come on, you've got visitors who are here to see you.
What do you want? What do you want? I'll be there. Oh, I'm coming. Opening the door, the party sees a spitting image of the traitor Roy Grimm, dressed completely in black with shards of ice surrounding the sides of his shoulders. What do you want, Renoir? What do you even want?
You have visitors, as I've said.
How can I help y'all?
Ryder hesitates as he can't stop staring at the man. Your name is Chuck. Did you happen to be a father by chance? With 2 sons?
Yeah, I've been out of town for a few weeks, but I'm trying to finish a job and then I'm gonna go see them again. Why? Do you know him?
Dad, it's me. It's Ryder.
No, that's not true. You must be confused. My son is just recently born a week ago. It's cute of you to think that, but you don't joke about a man's kids like that.
No, Dad, it's really me, Ryder. My older brother is Roy. I can't believe you've been down here all this time.
He gives a long look at Ryder, and he starts noticing the similarities, and he's shocked. Ryder? What the hell? Did you travel back in time? Is time magic a real thing? I thought that they were just joking about that in the stories.
No, you've been gone for so long.
What are you talking about? I've been gone for like 20 weeks at most.
It hasn't been 20 weeks. It's been like 20 years. How could this be?
That bastard. You're here now. Hi. Wow, you've grown up so much.
Dad, explain what's going on. What have you been doing this whole time down here?
when I left, it was because when I was younger than you are now, I made a deal with the devil to be able to expand some of the criminal jobs that I was doing. I'm a bounty hunter by trade. And in return, he said that I needed to go to the Voul for a couple of weeks. And so I did. And I thought it would be for a few weeks, but apparently not. I'm so sorry.
Jeez. Well, I'm glad I get to see you now, Dad.
Well, what are you doing here? You seem to have a bunch of people here. Nobody comes down here without a real reason, especially not recently. What are you doing here?
We're on this quest, and this whole diplomacy thing between two realms, yada yada. I really wasn't paying attention, but we need to somehow figure out a way to talk to La Madre.
La Madre Maria?
Yeah, I think that was her name.
If you're looking to get a meeting with La Madre, I might be able to help you out there. My job was to help her out with a couple of things. Here, we can talk about the specifics at dinner, but yeah, I can get you that hookup probably sometime tomorrow.
All right.
You see Renoir over in the corner of the room dabbing his eyes with a handkerchief. Oh, that is the most touching story I've ever heard. Did you say that you were going to see La Madre?
Yeah, why?
Renoir runs over and falls to his knees at your feet. Oh, please, I too have my own desperate tale of woe. I know I said I came here to the Voul to spread my music, but truly I came here looking for passage into her keep. You see the man before you shift from this young something male in his 20s down into a young girl in her early teens. I have a sick sister. I hear that La Madre's keep has information, texts on how to cure any disease. I was just hoping that I could get in there to find a cure for my beloved sister. She's like me, but she can change into many forms, but her body can't handle it all. Please, allow me to come with you so that I can save my sister. You've been reunited with your family. Please give me the opportunity to save mine.
All right, kiddo. I'm going to trust you, but please do not pull anything funny, okay?
Whoa, hold on. If he has to come, can't my dad come along with me? Right, Dad? We could catch up together and everything?
I'm sorry, kid. There's work to be done. Garion doesn't like it when I'm not doing my job. So, before you leave, the night's still young. Let's go have some dinner.
Of course, yes. I know a place where they have the strongest drinks.
While all of this goes down with the party's new friend Renoir, Ryan and Angel find a keep that the party can stay at while they're down here in the Voul, and Ryan reveals something he's been hiding from the rest of the party.
What's that you got over there?
Deck of cards. Found them in the lab.
The lab? Let me guess. You were being guarded by a metal man?
When I picked them up, he started walking.
Well, they certainly seem magical of some sort. I couldn't put my finger on it, though, but it definitely means they're of great importance. So listen here, Ryan. We're in a party of ex-cons and crooks and murderers, and you're holding on to something of potentially immense power. I'll leave it up to you if you want to tell them about it, but I think you're picking up what I'm putting down.
I wasn't planning on it.
Angel then gets up and leaves the room, when all of a sudden the deck of cards starts to speak.
No, in all honesty, I'm surprised you told anybody about what you saw down there.
Hello?
Hello?
Who's talking?
I don't know. It's been a while since I've remembered anything. Maybe you could give me a name.
Jack.
Jack. I appreciate the theming. It's quaint. And you are?
Ryan.
Ryan. Thank you so much for waking me up. You're a very strong man. Your energy is infectious. You seem wise too. Not telling anybody about this stuff. They've got so much going on already. So, I reckon if we just keep it how it is...
Wasn't planning on it.
Then I'll sit back and watch.
Everyone soon meets up at the recommended Voulish restaurant, and everyone catches their bearings in this new environment. Chuck introduces himself to the rest of the party members, and they begin to eat, all except for Angel, who seems to be disgusted with the food that he was given. They begin to finish their meals, as their vision starts to blur, and their brain starts to fog, as their heads fall to the table, fully sedated. The back door is kicked down, and Angel misty steps, teleporting himself out of the building, and walking in is a familiar face, Roy Grimm.
Chance Belita. You know, they say an eye for an eye makes the world go blind. But a leg for a leg? Oh, that I can do.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! Roy, what the heck are you doing?
Ryder, it's nice to see you awake, although if I wanted you asleep, you'd be asleep like the rest of them.
What? What did you do to them?
Come on, you couldn't expect me not to get back for Belita after what happened to my leg back in that fight with Darby. Come on.
Roy, what?
Brother, I just wanted to talk to you. Do you ever wonder what happened to Mom?
Mom? Well, I mean, yeah, Roy, what are you talking about?
When I took over the Darby fortune, my prize for betraying your little ragtag group of friends, I also inherited all of his records, his mission reports. Here, take a look at this file. A train robbery on the night Mom went missing. Her name's right there. And the operative, the one who destroyed that train, Ace Belita.
No.
He did this to us.
There's no way. He would have told me about this.
You said it yourself. He's a devil.
No. Chance?
Well, it seems like you guys weren't as good of friends as you thought. But if you're in the market, I've got a new group of friends, or honestly family of my own. Call ourselves the Mockingbirds. Come on. Join us. What do you say? You don't need to hang around with this low-life, mother-killing scum anymore. Let's be the family that we knew we should be. I did every little bit of this for you, Ryder. Please, come and join us.
Join you?
Angel interrupts this foolish reunion by firing a blast through the window, shattering the glass. The noise is enough to start waking people up from their slumber, but they are definitely feeling the effects of this poison. All of them dreary and delirious, they try to stand up to defend themselves, but Chance lets out a scream of pain, realizing that his right leg has been broken in two. Appearing behind Roy are his fellow gang members. Jane Clark, a gold dragonborn with the skills to walk with what she talks. Barry Blanco, a human outlaw, and the man Rowan is actively seeking. And Mackenzie Darby, daughter of the most feared criminal in all of Infersia. Together, they are the Mockingbirds, the newest crime syndicate this side of the Hoff. And they've come to kick some ass and take some names. Not much in terms of combat has happened to this party up until this point, and that definitely shows because they appeared to be severely under-equipped to deal with this rival gang. This attack was planned exceptionally, most likely due to Roy's prior experience with Chance and his insight knowing how Chance leads a group of ragtags. But even so, they didn't even seem to be breaking a sweat. Which leads us to outside the bar, where Angel notices someone intently watching this battle. It's a young human girl, someone who definitely should not be in the Voul by herself. When Angel asks her what she's doing, she innocently responds saying, "My name is Eve Winters and I'm gonna help my friends win." And for the first time in a very long time during a battle, Angel Eyes has no idea what to do. This newly formed rival gang brought a child to the depths of Tartarus. But he refused to hurt Eve, even though he knew that they would probably lose if he didn't stop her. But finally, he's able to get something out of her. He asks her how she plans to leave this place after they win, and she responds by pulling out a small marble from her front pocket, and with a bit of hesitation, Angel apologizes to her and shoots the marble right out of her hand, teleporting her to the material plane. Their aura of protection was gone, and this seemed to shift the tides of the battle. Mackenzie, upon seeing all of this, freaks out for Eve's safety and quickly follows her by shattering her own marble. The favor of the battle has shifted, and it seems the Mockingbirds are on the run.
One by one, as the Mockingbirds disappear, Rowan watches as Barry reaches into his bag, pulls out a small sphere, crushes it, and disappears. Watching the man he had been searching for escape, he sees the last remaining mockingbird, the gold dragonborn woman named Jane, begin to pull out her own orb. Rowan looks between her, a method of chasing down his vengeance, and then he looks over at his party members, people that have provided him comfort and a place to not be alone. He closes his eyes and makes a choice. I'm sorry. And he turns back to Angel. I have to go. And he lunges forward, grabs Jane by the shoulder as she crushes her orb, and is whisked away with her.
The group had survived, and had even managed to stop Roy from teleporting away himself, tying his hands behind his back. They begin delineating and contemplating what they should do with him, what questions they should ask him. But Ryder was horribly conflicted. He wasn't given the opportunity or the time needed to make such an important decision, and now knowing the news of his mother, he can't stand to see Roy captured again. So he's able to avoid the party's attention as he grabs the marble, giving it to Roy, allowing him to escape with the rest of his party. Though they had survived the Mockingbird's sneak attack, they end up learning that the reason why the main castle has been cut off from the rest of civilization is because they believe that their leader has been poisoned. When they eventually decide to approach a couple of the guards, Chance persuades them to allow him to try to help heal La Madre. Along with Chuck's rapport, they are allowed entry, as they all float across on a canoe over a massive moat, the main protection the castle has against unwanted entry. When they make it to the other side, they are stripped of their weapons and are allowed in through the front gate. Soon after, Renoir shapeshifts into one of the guards and sneaks off from the rest of them, and approaches the library, as the rest of them enter the throne room. And instead of seeing the once powerful and imposing Ice Queen, they see a sick woman slumped over in her chair. Chance very delicately is able to diagnose her, and with a couple lucky medicine rolls, Chance is able to extract the ichor poisoning her, as she regains consciousness, realizing what Chance had just done for her.
Right, Infersia. You have healed me. I thank you for that with a moment of my time. How may I listen to you?
As you know, I know there's a lot of tension right now between the good people of the Voul and up over there in Egon and, of course, Infersia. We were sent here by the mayors of Infersia to hopefully organize some sort of peace council to work something out between everybody.
Instead of enemies, tiefling, you speak of the ones who poisoned me.
I understand you have reason to be angry, and of course that's a horrible thing to do to someone else, but I think the best way to go through this is to talk about it, and I'm sure we could reach some sort of agreement that would be acceptable to both parties without any bloodshed.
Without any bloodshed. You seem to be a man of virtue. I cannot doubt that. But the people you associate yourself with are thieves.
Appearing before them all is Renoir, completely frozen in a block of ice.
Infersians, always getting yourselves in places you shouldn't be. Why do you step into my court and demand peace for something that has nothing to do with you?
La Madre Maria, I am so sorry for my acquaintance's actions. I had no idea he did that. With that being said, if you'll allow me to be frank, we've been down here in the Voul for quite a while now, going on a week. Everyone we've talked to seems to have a high respect for you. And from what I can tell, you seem to be a very benevolent ruler who also loves her people. And that's honestly what we all are at the end of the day, is people. I know what has happened in the past has happened. There's not really much forgiven that. But I know that you want what's best for your people. And it's the same all around the planet. In the interest of the people, the citizens of your kingdom, and Infersia and Egon and everywhere, you don't have to come to a decision anytime soon. All I ask is that you be there.
I understand your proposal. And you are correct. Today was a stark reminder
Everyone in the room begins to bow down before La Madre, all except for one 6-foot black crow.
With all that in mind, take this flame to the tip of Egon. They will know what it means.
Chance was successful at persuading La Madre, but it doesn't guarantee peace. Not yet. After being escorted out, Chuck is waiting for them and offers them passage out of the Voul. They all hop in a boat and row out to the middle of the lake, outside the main city of Tartarus, and jump through only to come out on the other side, in the water fountain in the city center of Umber. This is Chance's hometown, so they head over to his home, which Chance doubled as his place of practice. But ever since this adventure, it's been left abandoned, with no one to take care of it. They use this place to catch their bearings, and to prepare themselves for summoning Egon. But at this point enough time had passed, and Ryder was ready to confront Chance over the news Roy gave him.
Hey Chance, can I ask you something real quick?
Yeah, sure, Ryder. What is it?
Now, Chance, be honest with me, man.
Yeah, okay. I'll be honest.
Did you kill my mom?
What? Ryder, that's not something to joke about. I didn't kill your mom.
Don't bullshit me, Chance. Don't bullshit me right now. Roy told me that you killed my mom, and then he handed me this letter. What the hell is he talking about?
Oh, shit. I remember that train. Ryder, I'm so sorry. I didn't... That was when I was working for Darby. You kill so many people on those trains, you don't know who any of them are. And I had no idea.
You knew this whole time, and you didn't even once think about telling me.
Ryder,
God damn it. I should kill you. I really should. Out of all the times to draw my rifle against you, this should be one of them. But you know what, Chance? I'm not. From the 9 hells to the tip of Celestia, from the ice to the Sunhoff, I, Ryder Grimm, will slander, curse the name of Chance Bellina to my dying last breath. Do you hear me, Chance? Whatever reputation you thought you could rebuild, I will destroy.
How could Chance even begin to respond to that? Before, Ryder's antics were troublesome for sure, but this seemed different. Like he had hit a boiling point. Ryder had already decided that he wasn't going to be the one to kill Chance, but that won't stop him from getting his revenge, so it seems.
The city of Umber isn't unfamiliar to Renoir, so he chooses to walk it alone, avoiding his party members, knowing full well that he did just betray them. The answer they were seeking down there wasn't his to find, and now the voice that's constantly whispering is now starting to yell, eating at his conscience. So towards the other side of Umber, Renoir finds a black stem dealer, a highly potent and very popular drug in the land of Infersia, in the vain attempt to drown him out.
Will you please just shut up?
Oh, so he speaks. I didn't know hypocrites could do that. Trying to live forever, but wasting away in an alley like this.
None of your fucking business.
You know, I share the same living space as you do, so I think it is my business.
And why do you think I do this? I'm sick and tired of hearing your voice.
Oh dear, is someone sad? now have to deal with. That truly is a real shame for you, Renoir. You know, I don't think anyone has ever had to deal with trauma.
Please just shut up.
I don't think I am. And I don't think I have to shut up.
Everyone hates you.
But you can't hate something that doesn't exist, can you? No. I think that if you truly hated me, you'd tell me to get out and never come back. I think the fact that you're here is proof, verifiable proof, that you will never be able to let me go. You'll never be able to see anything other than your own baggage. You'll never be able to survive. So why don't we just stop pretending nothing else matters but you and me and this?
Shut up! So I'm singing in this car park just to fill the empty air, and I'm waiting on the echoes of 1,000 little prayers. There's no comfort in a song, but the walls will sing along. One million miles is far too far away. One million miles is far too far today.
Time passes, and morning becomes afternoon, and afternoon becomes evening. And eventually the party is able to find Renoir, passed out in an alleyway. Ryan picks him up and brings him to Chance, and Chance makes sure that he's stable. And they take them with them, despite his lies, and despite his problems, as they head to their next stop, Egon.
The devil's gonna make me a free man. The devil's gonna set me free.
Egon is a strict partition people. This place was first populated by the elves of the Feywild, but it wasn't until the Great Miracle, as they call it, where their god of flame, Nusme, gifted them the eternal flame. This act has shaped their culture ever since, and is the reason why they've remained so reclusive, refusing to share their fire. That's why La Madre's possession of but a fraction of it has embittered the relations between the two of them. Arriving at the base of Egon, it became glaringly obvious that we stick out like a mule in a church house, which makes our task rather difficult if you can imagine. But with the party's prior knowledge and what they could glean from the culture around them, Ryder and Grady devised a devilish farce. They dressed Ryder up in classic Egonian attire, and Grady went on ahead and started preaching about the return of the Visa La Colleen, a messianic figure in Egonian religion. Renoir also improvised an entire performance, as they began parading up the lower portions of Egon, drawing quite the crowd. Ryder simply played into the crowd's energy, clearly loving the attention. We soon arrived at a massive cathedral, and immediately looking into Grady's eyes, it was rather jarring. His mischievous demeanor changed to one of innocent curiosity as he entered the church alone.
Hello? Is anybody here?
Yeah, I am. What can I do for you?
That's a great question. I guess over the last few days, seen a lot. I guess I really don't know what I need, or honestly even what I'm looking for.
Well, it doesn't seem like you're from here, so let's start with what you're here for.
There's a mighty big flame up that hill, and I'm supposed to talk to people that I guess want to keep it away from everyone else. Not too convenient, ain't it?
No.
What do you mean? I thought you was one of them.
I got a different way of thinking about things. That's why they keep me down here.
Yeah, well, anyway, it kind of caused a ruckus in the town. Sorry about that, by the way. And, I don't know. I guess I just kind of felt bad about it. I ain't much of a religious man myself, but I heard church is place supposed to repent or something or the other. So, I guess that's why I'm here.
And what in particular do you have to apologize for?
A lot. I mean, going back a couple minutes ago, it's taking something that was important to some people and I guess making a mockery of it. But you go back even farther than that, well, There's drinking, gambling, sleeping around, stealing if you can call it that. I say trickery, but a lot.
And all of that brought you to this holy place.
I guess it did.
Egon used to very much care about fate, about how choices are placed in front of us, and how we, whether we know it or not, are stepping into places because at the end of it, it's going to turn into something special. That's the fire that we all have. It's the fire that you have too. The question you got to ask yourself is whether or not you're willing to share it.
I guess that's a mighty good question. You've given me a lot to think about.
Well, keep thinking on it. And here's a book of old Psalms. You read it yourself and you tell me what you think.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Grady's worldview has started to reveal its cracks. He's become conflicted between his upbringing and his moral compass. Returning to the party, he gets them to stop this whole charade that they were performing. As they approach the final gondola, at the top of this one is the summit, and the temple where the Eternal Flame is housed. But it was at this point where the performance has come back to bite them. A religious zealot named Joffrey and his soldiers fly down to the cart and accuse them of blasphemy. Fire begins hailing on the small cart as Joffrey and his men start pelting the party with attacks. They begin to fire back, but it becomes increasingly obvious that they are basically fish in a barrel. Angel asks for Ryan to help him as he concentrates on a spell. Ryan takes this opportunity to try to take some of the attention off of him, getting himself attacked in the process. Eventually, Angel's able to seep into the minds of the Egonians, sending shock and fear into their spines, causing them to retreat towards the summit.
Okay, no, I said I was going to sit back and watch, but you're actively getting yourself in danger for these people. Why is that?
Because I know I can take the hit.
Just because you can take the hit doesn't mean you should. You're out here attempting to solve a meaningless conflict made by meaningless systems for centuries with people that you're going to end up losing in the end. Why?
I can't go on living with nothing anymore.
Well, I hope that you truly know what you're doing. I don't want you to die. Not so soon.
If it means they get to live, maybe it's a trade I'd be willing to take.
They have made it to the summit of Egon, but whereas before they were most likely not going to provide the opportunity to listen to them, the group has just walked into basically the Supreme Court of Egon, where if they can't talk their way out of this, they will most likely be put to death for blasphemy. And not only that, they need to convince this council that they need to show up to Athra to converse with La Madre and the Voul.
Joffrey reveals that his right leg has been completely amputated. Do you want to know what happens when we share our flame with the world? We lose a piece of us in return. I lost this in a river of Egon after 2 men betrayed me and shot me in the back. 2 men of Infersia. People come, people go, but the fact is these stains remain, and our flame can only stay pure for so long. If we choose to intervene in this, if we choose to reconcile, then we're tainting the flame that gives us our strength, and we're only making ourselves weaker.
Look, I am so sorry you got backstabbed and lost your leg. That sounds like a bum deal. And I think my cohorts and I know more than most how many vile sons of bitches there are down in Infersia. But I have to believe from the bottom of my heart that we're all people who are just doing our best with what we got. Whether it's folks from Infersia, the Voul, or Egon, there are people out there who genuinely want to do good. And, if you'll allow me to speak frankly, you saw how bad it was for some people down in Infersia. And I think that you should know how much they need help from folks like yourselves. I mean, if you're so goddamn good, then why don't you get off your high horse and share some of that goodness with the people who really need it? If you can forget your pride for one measly second and think about it, I think you'd realize how much good you're capable of doing. And if you don't believe me, we brought a piece of the eternal flame from the Voul as a symbol of peace from La Madre. Please, all we ask is a meeting. I need you to realize how much good you're capable of.
The sight of the stolen piece of the eternal flame shocks the council. Along with Chance's words, the council agrees to let them go, and that they will consider appearing in Athra, despite Joffrey's warnings. The group are once again free, and the stolen piece of the eternal flame is returned to the pyre, and the council offers the group something very interesting. It is customary for those who make their pilgrimage to the top of Egon, if they so choose, to convene with the eternal flame.
As I reached my hand in the fire, my hand began to scorch. Felt the heat radiating in every part of my hand, every bit of my body. But my hand wasn't harmed, not in the fire. And as the warmth consumed me, I saw it. It was a bar, back in Athra. And my mom was there. I ran up. As I went to hug her, she dissolved into flame. The flame consumed everything. It consumed the bar, it consumed tables of games and the people, until there was nothing but fire all around me. And then it began to consume me. And I stood there. I couldn't see what I looked like, but I then knew I was changed. And in a moment, I was back in that church in Egon, surrounded by my friends.
Well, I reached my hand into that fire, and for a split second, I felt like I was being bitten by the hottest fire I'd ever felt. And just like that, it went cold again. I smelled wood burning at a fireplace and coffee brewing. Heard the sound of an old jukebox humming something mighty sweet. And when I opened my eyes, I was back in old Al Janko's office. He was reading one of his fantasy books that he was always so fond of. He gestured me to sit, got me a snack. Felt like I was a kid again. You know, I had so many questions for him, I couldn't even figure out what to say. Sat there for a while. Eventually, I just broke the silence and blurted it out. Said, Al, I spent so many years as Ace, I don't think I know who Chance is. In that old voice, he said, Kiddo, it's not up to me or Jed or anyone else to decide that. You need to decide for yourself who you are. Sometimes it takes a man his whole life to figure out who he is. Some don't figure it out at all. The important thing is not to sit around and wait for life to come at you. If you've got something you know needs doing, don't wait another second. I said, Al, how am I supposed to know once I'm a good man? Then he laughed and said, Kiddo, you haven't figured that out yet? Just like that, I was back in Egon. That old bastard always liked to get the last word.
The events you've just witnessed have brought us to right here, and now we're riding home to eat the fruits of our labor. But it appears someone had a different plan in mind.
Hey y'all, you mind gathering around for a sec? I got a bit of an announcement. I've been doing a lot of thinking recently, and especially after talking to La Madre and the elders over at Egon. I don't think I'm gonna be joining y'all anymore. I got a lot of questions for myself and for the world, honestly, and I think there's only one place I could get those answered. That's top of that mountain. I'm gonna miss y'all, if I'm being honest, but I think this is something I gotta do.
Chance, you mind if I can have a bit of your time for a moment, privately?
Of course, Angel.
Chance and Angel find an empty card and close the door to have a private conversation.
Dealers. Really, Belita? Mount Dealers?
Yeah, Dealers, I think it's important.
You're a damn dead man walking. So I hope you don't act all confused by their reaction in there. Is there a single member of this party that went on this damn quest for the sole virtue of solving a conflict? We all read that poem in the factory. We just so happened to have completed all the steps right before heading up to that mountain. You nearly had me convinced there, Chance. This whole redemption shtick, it almost works. I gotta give you props. Well, since it seems no one will be stopping you, then answer me this. Get a lot of men, Ace. And I don't give a damn if it was for you or for Darby. What's done is done. But what do you have to say to the dammer? Because Ace, you've been traveling with the right hands of the devil. I don't kill men, I condemn them. I see to it that their souls make their weary travel to the Styx. You want to really know who I am? You look into my eyes and you'll see. I'm from down in the gulch where the goat is sing and the shadows dance. If you're gonna kill yourself up some damn rock, I offer you this challenge. If you somehow make it back down to the land of the living, if you see it that we can all find redemption, then I want you to point to me what Dobby's is.
Well, Angel, I told you before and I'll tell you again now, my name is Chance, not Ace. That's gone. Second of all, it's not a shtick. I'm old, Angel, and I know you are too, but ever since I left Umber, many days and many nights ago, I've been asking myself one question: if I could be redeemed or not. And if I'm gonna be honest with you, Angel, I don't know, but I have to believe from the bottom of my heart that the answer is yes. And if I'm believing that for myself, I will damn well believe that for any one of y'all that I've met and became friends with and loved across this journey. And you have to believe that for yourself, Angel.
Howdy, sir. Looking for a shoe shine?
Thinking about it on a day like this. Don't mind if I do.
Well, it is a nice day out today. Sun is just hot enough for me to not need to drink a whole lot of water. Take a seat. What brings you into town?
I don't think I have any other way of putting this. I think it's high time we save the world.
Chance left the ultimate goal of the party up to the rest of the group, basically. His empathy towards all people and his basically raw charisma had helped them a ton and gotten them to this point. But now, they were left to their own devices. The mayors gathered in preparation for their arrival, and the first to appear through an icy rift, all bejeweled and intimidating as ever, was La Madre, and soon after arrived the Council of Egon. Things began intensely, with both sides providing valid grievances against each other, of things that their people have suffered because of the other, and the mortals were left to mediate. Everyone took their turn providing anecdotes and compromises, with neither side seemingly willing to give up anything. Tartarus provided back to you the eternal flame that they stole so long ago. And did you not accept this gift when we provided it to you? We may act as mediaries, but we have just as much stake in this as the rest of you. If you allow us to support you, we could all thrive together. All statements that could have been made were provided, and the group was ushered out of the room to allow for the two parties to make up their minds. And this was brought down, as many important things in D&D do, to a dice roll. After allowing time for delineation from both sides, an agreement was struck, allowing for the material plane as a sort of neutral ground, and a beginning to peace. La Madre then soon vanished back to the Voul, and the council left soon after. Perhaps, for once, good works have been rewarded.
I'm free. I'm free. Ryan Mitz, thank you so much. Oh, I'm sure this is all very confusing for you. What was it you called me in that deck? Jack? It was a fine name, but I'm afraid it's not quite accurate. I'm Umber, the first scholar
of Asmodeus, Lord of Chaos. Oh, I was trapped down there for so long, in nothingness, in a void, all-consuming. But now, I'm free, and now I can do what I've set out to do, the way I see it. No system of government, no higher authority, no god or devil should have any reign over what I do. All thanks to you, Ryan. I want to thank you all. This really is all your fault.
Oh, so carry my bones, go down to my grave. I gave you my word, I can't give you everything. So carry my bones, go down to my grave, along with my pride. I can't take you with me. So carry my bones, 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 so carry my
This train is bound for glory. This train. This train is bound for glory. This train. This train is bound for glory. Don't ride nothing but the righteous and the holy. This train is bound for glory. This train. This train don't care no gamblers. This train. This train don't care no gamblers. This train. This train don't care no gamblers, no big bar flyers, no midnight ramblers. This train is bound for glory. This train. This train is built for speed now. This train. This train is built for speed now. This train. This train is built for speed now. Fastest train you ever did see now. This train is bound for glory. This train.
That's going straight to the blooper reel.
Still
Big
shot.
healers?
It's a photo, so you can extend it as much as you want.
Actually,
and then frame.
oh yeah, there we go.
Where's the frame? Where's the
Take.
Yo, what's up? It's me, Ryder Grimm. Right in Renmore's apartment. So that's Renmore's door. He wasn't working, so I kind of just pushed it over, you know? That's just how it is in his apartment, I guess.
Just because you can take the hit doesn't mean you should. I mean, look where we are. We're trying to solve some meaningless conflicts, all set up by these meaningless systems that we all know are gonna fall apart in the end.
I can't say you're entirely wrong. Reese hasn't practiced trumpet in a month and a half.
I can't hold it in. Get practicing, Reese.
Today's the day. Head back to Arizona for the final sessions of Infersia, and don't really know what to expect, but it's gonna be a good time.
It's like I'm in Colin Farland.
It's Colin
Farland. It's Colin Farworld. Show my face. It's Colin Farworld.
Hey, I have
Cam Scadaboo.
we love that guy. Guys, it was targeting. There's targeting.
I didn't see it.
Please stop him
Dude.
from opening the windows.
Dude, you fucking farted, dude? Well, I didn't fucking fart. Did you fucking fart?
This is real firepower! Legendary! Hey, team, enjoy!
Alright, let's load back up. Dude, I got the major munchies, dude. Well, Principal Skinner took my chips. I need you to go to the office and get them for me, and I'll teach you that sick ollie trick I know. Dude, you're like weirding me out, but I got the major munchies, dude. Unfortunately, Principal Skinner took my chips. I need you to go to the office and get them for me, and I'll teach you that sick ollie I know.
I have not taken a photo. This is a video. Say something for Jed Darby.
What's up, Jed Darby? We're gonna mog you.
What does Chance have to say about Jed Darby at this moment?
I'm mid on him. I'm mid on him at the current moment.
Dude, when he shows up at your place and he's an archer level,
Yeah.
it's gonna be weird.
That was a gnarly biff. See, I know this ollie trick, but I got the munchies, dude. Principal Skinner took my chips. I need you to go to the office, get him, and I'll teach you that sick ollie I know.
I'm on it, Chief.
Fuck you staring at?
Principal Skinner's a twig.
Oh, dude, nice. Oh, man. That hurt a spot. When you hit that ollie, you need to hit left bumper, right bumper, A, and B. Go ahead, try it, dude. What is going on? Dude, that was nice. Dude, one more time. Bravo, dude. That was gnarly.
Dude, I've got a major case of the monkeys.
Who's got the shoes? Real pretty little feet. And who's got a glove? Your hand. And who's got this? Your red rebel lips. And who's gonna be your man? And who's gonna be your man? My papa's gonna shoot my pretty little feet. My mama's gonna glove my hand. And my sister's gonna kiss your Retrobate lips, 'cause I don't need no man. 'Cause I don't need no man. I don't need no man, oh boys. I don't need no man. My Retrobate lips, 'cause I don't need no man. Fastest train I ever did ride was 100 coaches long, and the only woman I ever did love, she was on that train and gone. She was on that train and gone. On that train and gone, boys. On that train and gone. The only woman I ever did love, she was on the train and gone. So who's gonna shoe your pretty little feet? And who's gonna love your hand? And who's gonna kiss your Retrobate lips? And who's gonna be your man? And who's gonna be your man?
Very country.
Brilliant. That's what I like to play.